Recently, I've noticed that caffeine in my drinks can influence my sleep patterns. If I drink a lot of caffeine from the coffee or tea, I get to be wide awake in the middle of the night and only get to sleep good around like 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning. That disrupts my circadian cycle, and then you feel groggy, and that's no good. So that means we should cut down on our caffeine intake. And when it comes to caffeine, coffee tops the list, followed by oolong tea or Chinese pu'er tea, and then maybe green tea and some other plants or herbs. So let's find out how we can reduce the caffeine in our coffee. Does light roast coffee have more caffeine than dark roast? Find out how much of a jolt you will actually get from that cup of joe, right? Jolt, that cup of joe, my joe, right? They say my joe, a jolt. This article is from All Recipes. It appeared on yahoo.com, and the writer is Carla Walsh. Thursday, June 4th, 2026. What has more caffeine, light roast, dark roast coffee? Whether you swear by a daily stop at the coffee shop or whip up your own copycat coffee drink recipes, at home you are in good company if you rely on Java to jumpstart your day. Wow, a lot of good expressions. You are in good company. You are in good company. You are in good company, right? Swear by a daily stop at the coffee. Swear by means like you attest to your idea, right? It's more like I always, it's a must. Swear by a daily stop at the coffee shop or whip up your own copycat coffee drink recipes at home. Whip up. Rely on Java to jumpstart your day, to jumpstart your day, to jumpstart your day, to jumpstart your day, right? You are in good company. About 75% of American adults drink coffee. Research suggests, and 1 in 2 of us sip on a coffee every single day. If sip on coffee, right? Sip a coffee. Sip on coffee. That's a good expression. Sip on coffee, jumpstart your day, you are in good company, whip up, swear by a daily stop at the coffee shop. Even if the cocoa-colored drink is a staple in your diet, you probably don't take a lot of time to dissect every finer detail involved in the beans your cup is brewed from. Sure, you may consider the aromas or flavor notes, such as earthy, spicy, smoky, fruity, crisp, or floral. Compare the color to the hue of a drink made from your last batch of beans, or experiment with different coffee recipes to try to find your favorite among the mochas, macchiatos, and PSLs of the world. I was distracted. Even if a cocoa-colored drink is a staple in your diet, you probably don't take a lot of time to dissect every finer detail involved in the beans your cup is brewed from. Sure, you may consider the aromas or flavor notes, such as earthy, spicy, smoky, fruity, crisp, or floral. Compare the color to the hue of a drink made from your last batch of beans, or experiment with different coffee recipes to try to find your favorite among the mochas, macchiatos, and PSLs of the world. Earthy, spicy, smoky, fruity, crisp, or floral. But when was the last time you thought about the caffeine content? And if it might vary from cup to cup, turns out that's definitely possible. Read on to learn more about the factors involved in how much caffeine is in coffee. Then discover how the roasting process in particular can make your breakfast beverage more or less buzzy. The details that impact coffee's caffeine content. 4 main factors determine the quantity of caffeine in your drink. The coffee beans. Depending on the specific species of coffee plant, a bean's natural caffeine content can fluctuate. The style of coffee. Caffeine levels vary whether you opt for brewed, cold brew, espresso, instant, or decaf. For example, caffeine levels vary, right? Brewed, cold brew, espresso, instant, or decaf. Wow, so I should drink a decaf coffee, right? Or espresso, right? Espresso. I like espresso. I'm not a big fan of coffee, but when I have to drink a coffee, I go for espresso. The serving size, even though they are all often referred to as a cup of coffee, a short is actually 1 cup, a tall is, what is it, 11 and a half cups? What the fuck is that? A grande is 2 cups. Oh, a tall is 1.5 cups. A grande is 2 cups. I thought 11 over 2. That was strange mathematical expression. So 1.5 cups. A grande is 2 cups, and the venti is 2 to 2.5 cups, depending on whether you get hot or iced. ICYMI. Here's everything you need to know about Starbucks coffee sizes. Yeah, ICYMI is a short acronym for, I don't know, more information. In case you need more information, ICMI, ICME, the more coffee you actually sip from that cup, the higher your total caffeine intake will be. The roast. During roasting, a bean loses mass. In fact, a roasted coffee bean can shed up to 70% of its water weight during the first 6 minutes of roasting. A cup of light roast coffee will have slightly different caffeine levels than its dark roast coffee peers. Caffeine estimates based on averages per category. How coffee roast influences caffeine. First, a quick refresher on roasting. This technique involves heating green, tender coffee seeds until they reach their signature brown, aromatic, brew-ready status. Before beans are ready to brew, they undergo a handful of steps that shape their final flavor, caffeine content, and overall drinking experience. Roasting strategies vary, but as a general rule, these are the roast levels definitions. All right, signature brown. Signature brown. Reach their signature brown. Reach their signature brown. Good expression. In this case, light roast. Heated until the beans reach an internal temperature of 356 to 401 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 to 205 degrees Celsius, which takes 10 minutes or less when roasted between 350 and 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 and 204 degrees Celsius. Medium roast. Heated until the beans reach 410 to 418 degrees Fahrenheit or 210 to 214 degrees Celsius. Dark roast. Heated until the beans reach 465 to 480 degrees Fahrenheit or 241 to 249 degrees Celsius, which takes about 50 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 204 degrees Celsius. The flavors and aromas tend to concentrate during roasting, so you might imagine that a dark roast coffee also packs a stronger caffeine punch, but the reverse is actually true. If you are comparing the same weight of light and dark roast coffee, each will have very similar caffeine levels. As you scale each batch, you will notice that you will need more dark roast beans to match the weight of light roast beans. As beans lose moisture during roasting, darker roasted beans shed mass and density. That said, if you compare light and dark roast beans by how much space they take up, as they would hold their own in a scoop, light roast will have a bit more caffeine. Beans expand during roasting, so a dark roast coffee beans take up more space. The caffeine content doesn't increase as the beans roast, but because of the shift in density, you might notice a slight difference in the total caffeine in your cup if you make it without a scale. The bottom line, lighter roast coffee has a skosh more caffeine than dark roast coffee. Scoop for scoop. The variance is fairly small, though, and you will notice much larger shifts in total caffeine content depending on the coffee plant species, the number of ounces that you call a cup, and how you brew said cup. I don't know if you said said cup is a rare expression. Aforementioned cup, right? Said cup. If all this coffee talk has you craving more Java, whip up one of our 5-star coffee drink recipes, then transfer it to a travel coffee mug so you can take that energy boost to go. Read the original article on all recipes. Sad cup. How you brew sad cup. You call a cup. So basically, roasting and how you roast your coffee beans don't reduce caffeine content in it. It's rather how you brew your coffee. Espresso or instant coffee produces less caffeine, So that's where I'm going to go for. But before we close this article, let's go over what we try to remember, right? A sad cup, Java, jolt, the cover of day, jumpstart your day, a cup of Joe, jolt, jumpstart. That said cup. So let's go back and see what I try to remember. You swear by a daily stop at the coffee shop or whip up your own copycat coffee drink recipes at home. Whip up your own copycat coffee drink recipes. You are in good company. Java to jumpstart. Sip on coffee. Earthy, spicy, smoky, fruity, crisp, or floral. Earthy, spicy, smoky, fruity, crisp, and floral. Swear by a daily stop at the coffee shop or whip up your own copycat coffee drink recipes. You are in good company. Java to jumpstart. Sip on coffee. A jolt, that cup of Joe. Thanks for listening. Have a great That Cup of Joe day. Bye-bye.